is partner up with you and take you into the fire. We are going to be on a hose team. Our job is to extinguish the fire. Now in the fire service, we use lots of acronyms. One is KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. If you're anything like me, and I know I am, you like it like that. So the acronym we're going to keep in mind is REVES. R-E-V-E-S. All right, let's set it up. We've been called to a house fire. Let's say Highlands Ranch, your typical 2,000 square foot home. The report is heavy smoke showing. We arrive on scene. We pull off the hose line. You and I are going into the fire. Now as we go in, we're going to keep REVES in mind. So we're at the door. We enter. First R, rescue. That's the first thing that all the crews have in mind is rescue. Our job is to go in and put the fire out. But of course, if we come across a victim or hear cries for help, we're going to stop what we're doing and go take care of that, bring them out. The house can burn to the ground, no big deal. Had 100% success that day because we saved someone. So R. Next one, E, exposure. Now that takes on a couple different connotations. Those houses in Highlands Ranch, you could reach through the window, your kitchen window, and to the neighbor and ask for the grape coupon. They can hand it to you. So sometimes when you arrive at a fire, the fire's blown out the window, impinging on the other house. You may put a hose line on that other house so it doesn't get started. But us as an interior attack crew, what we're looking for is spot fires that are happening as we make our way to the main body of the fire. We're going to put those out as we go. What you don't want to happen is the main fire and a new fire starting behind you, burning through your hose line. Not a good place to be. So we're going to hit those exposures as we go in. Next one, V, ventilation. Now, that takes place outside of the house usually. And you have knowledge and faith that that's going on while you're inside. There may be a crew on top of the house cutting a hole in the roof, letting out that smoke, making your job easier inside the house. E, the next E is extinguishment. Okay, as we're making our way into the fire, we're crawling to where it's getting hotter and hotter. Now sometimes it's very evident where the fire is. It's just blown out everywhere. You can see it, you can hear it, you know exactly where to go. Other times it's just pitch black. You have to sit quietly for a few moments and listen. Listen for some snapping, popping, and then make a decision which way to go. Okay, we see it. It's down the hallway, we know where we're going. We come through the door, and it's a bedroom. And everything in the room is on fire. The bed, the furniture, the walls, the draperies, everything is just blown out. So that's our next part, extinguishment. Now you'd think you would just take that hose line and just start hitting everything. Well, you don't. What you do is you take that hose line and 3 short bursts up into the ceiling area. Now what that does is those little droplets of water going up, hitting that super hot heated gases, immediately converts to steam. Now water will expand 1,200 times when it converts to steam. So what that does, it creates a blanketing effect, a cooling effect, that's going to come down and extinguish most of that fire. And then we're going to move in and put the bed out, the dresser, whatever else is still on fire. Now S, salvage and overhaul. The overhaul part is we're going to do some more damage. There's been a lot of fire in that room. We're going to tear open the walls, tear open the ceiling, and look for hidden fires. Fire may have gotten behind the wall. You need to put those out so you're not called back in a couple hours for a rekindle. Salvage part is we're going to look for important papers, documents, maybe photo albums, furniture that's undamaged, and bring those out of the house. Now that's a pretty quick, down and dirty explanation of what we do. Now I want to try a little experiment. I want to see if we can apply Rebus to those fires that are raging in your life. You want to try it?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. You have a problem going on in your life. Let's try to apply Rebus to that. What's the first R? Rescue. What are we rescuing? Well, I think the most important is rescuing our relationships. Who do you owe an apology to? Who owes you an apology? And you have to confront them with it. Is there new boundaries, limits you need to set with maybe your kids? Have you called your mother lately? All right. E, exposures. Remember what I said about those spot fires? Let's hit those. Let's make that call, make sure that shipment came in or went out, take care of that customer service problem so it doesn't expand. Ventilation, remember I said it was you have knowledge and faith that's happening outside? Let's look at that as your faith life, your prayer life, your meditation life, whatever word you apply to that. How you doing in that area? Rate it from 1 to 10. See if you need to improve there. So you know that those outside unseen forces are out there assisting you in your life. E, extinguishment. Remember I said we're going to hit at the ceiling level and expand? Let's try that too. Those little droplets of water could be coworkers, family members, people you don't know. You call on the phone, hey, I've got a problem with this. Have you ever dealt with this? No, but I know so-and-so has. Let that expand. Seek wise counsel. And then S, salvage and overhaul. What are we salvaging and overhauling? Well, remember I said we're going to have to dig into the wall and the ceiling to find those hidden fires? Maybe you're going to have to do that. Maybe you're going to have to deal with a coworker, an employee, someone in your family. Watch out, you might have to dig deep into yourself, and that's where you might find that hidden fire. Salvage, what are we salvaging? Again, relationships. Maybe, again, you're going to need to speak to people about your relationships with them and salvage those. Now, let's say you've done everything you can do to put this fire out. The whole darn thing burns to the ground into the basement. But you tried your best. Well, as firefighters, we didn't rebuild. But we would come back a month or so later to a house that was totally destroyed. There'd be a new house. That house would be better than it was the day before the fire. New doors, new windows, new plumbing, electrical. It was better now than it was. They rebuilt. So I encourage you to rebuild off that firm foundation, which is your core values that you don't compromise on, and rebuild it better than it was. Mr. Toastmaster.